was focusing on a kinder and gentler America. He was really a wonderful man. When you talk about patriots, he was in high school, I believe, when he volunteered in World War II. Still a teenager, went to the South Pacific in flying mission, was shot down over the Pacific. Although the plane was damaged, he continued the mission to the end and parachuted out of the plane and was severely injured. He is actually a Purple Heart recipient, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. He's one of the two actual presidents that were Purple Heart recipients, the other being John F. Kennedy. President Bush was the first. He also went on to a great career of service in addition to World War II. He was a congressman from Texas. He was ambassador to the United Nations. He was the first envoy to China, vice president for 8 years and president before. And I know that when you look at people that you want your children to model after, this is one of them. He was just a great man for the country. So I'd just like to take a moment of silence in memory of the president and our thoughts of his family. Tonight we're going to, Trustee Larry Taylor is excused from tonight's meeting. He's traveling on business. But we do have some swearing-in services. And one is our Deputy Mayor, John Cassell, and that's to the office of Trustee. Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and carry out the duties of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability? I do. We have Nicole Sullivan. Trustee Sullivan. You want to bring the members of your family up?
She's like, the computer and then was that all?
No, hey, she came.
Riley. No, don't take a computer. That's it, that's Riley.
I should have known that.
Take the oath of office.
Picked her up.
Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and carry out the duties of trustee of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability?
I do.
Congratulations. I should ask you if you wanted to say, but
Sorry.
we can go back to that. I'll also, at this point, appoint Donna as Deputy Mayor again. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
For all your assistance over the last year. For somebody that, as a new mayor, but someone that had never even served on the board. So it was a totally new experience and education for Mason Donna and many of the other board members. That was very helpful. I want to consider a motion to appoint Liz Draper as village clerk for a term of 2 years. And Liz, Liz, do you have to come out for this?
I think she
Yes,
does.
she
Does she
does.
have to-
Yes, she has to get it all.
She has to administer the, she's good.
Take a break.
Please adopt the motion.
I'll adopt the motion, we'll make the motion.
All in favor? Unanimous.
You can come out now, Liz.
You wanna
Come out, come
Liz?
out. You're the pit pattern. There she is.
That's a multitasking lady.
Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of village clerk of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to
really a pleasure and an honor for me, and I like to always say I'm a lucky girl that I'm actually coming to work every day in a job that I love performing. So thank you to you all.
Jeff Judah for village treasurer.
We'll take the motion then.
Make a motion.
We gotta appoint him first.
Let's make a motion.
I'd like to consider a motion to appoint Jeff Judah as village treasurer for a term of 2 years. All in favor?
What? I have to say who first and seconded it.
Eddie is first,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
all in favor. Jeff, do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, to carry out the duties of treasurer for the village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability? I do.
I'd just like to thank the mayor and the board of trustees for your continued trust in me. And I look forward to working with you all, village staff and village residents over the next 2 years.
Charlene? Okay, so do I have a motion for Deputy Mayor Cassell, second? Trustee Durazi, all in favor? Unanimous. Charlene Delicato as budget officer. You want to do that?
I don't think I need an oath.
Oh, we don't have to swear Charlene in.
No, I've been sworn in.
But she swears enough.
All
I
right,
said that a lot.
Okay. Consider a motion to appoint Robert Harwood as acting village justice for a term of 1 year. Motion? Trustee Mazzillo, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Bonnie Fisher as vehicle and traffic prosecutor for a term of 1 year. Motion? Deputy Mayor Cassell, second. Trustee Nell, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Dr. Richard Borko as village historian for a term of 1 year. Trustee Rosillo, second. Trustee Nell, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Joy Haber as Greenburgh liaison for a term of 1 year. Motion. Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Durazi, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Don Mara as CDBG representative for a term of 1 year. Motion, Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Nell, all in favor? Let me just recognize that Don Mara, former Mayor Don Mara, is here today, one of the great mayors in Dobbs Ferry history, and very, very supportive of not only the village, but of me for the first years. So thank you, Don. I appreciate you coming tonight and for what you do for the village. Consider a motion to appoint Lair Rosenkranz as a regular member of the Architectural and Historical Review Board for a term of 3 years. Motion, Trustee Rosillo, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Ken Barton as a regular member of the Ethics Board for a term of 5 years. Deputy Mayor Cassell, second. Trustee Nell, all in favor? Consider a motion to appoint Steve Gifford as a regular member of the Housing Board of Appeals for a term of 2 years. Motion? Trustee Rosillo, second. Trustee Durazi, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Paula McCarthy as chair, Ellen Crane, Rishi Gupta, Anna Marie Karaj, Nancy Keene, Emma Lou Lewis, Miriam Morazel, Sharon McCann Doyle, Bill Singleton, Adam Spielberger, Dale Unterman as regular members of the nominating committee, each for a term of 1 year. Motion, Trustee Nell, second. Trustee Durazi, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Anna Markowitz as a regular member of the Planning Board for a term of 5 years. Deputy Mayor Cassell, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Gary Anacarico as chairman of the Traffic Committee, and Rob Barron, Bradley Bolke, Larry Murphy, Ann Zinke as regular members, Police Officer Travis Colvin as a liaison from the Police Department, Trustee Donna Cassell as the Public Safety Committee, Board of Trustees ex officio, Rick Rivera, Chief of Police ex officio, and Christopher Denike, Fire Chief ex officio, each for a term of 1 year. Motion?
Can I do that?
I think it has to
I don't
be.
think I can.
Trustee Nell, second. Trustee Rosillo, all in favor? So it's 6.
Can I? I can't, oh, I can't.
You can. All right, 7. Consider a motion to appoint John Kleiman as a regular member of the Youth Services Council for a term of 3 years, and Trustee Maura DeRossi, Village Trustee ex officio, Patty Giuliano, School Representative ex officio, Police Sergeant Justin Kampke, Youth Officer ex officio, and Kendra Garrison, Superintendent of Recreation ex officio for 1 year. Trustee DeRossi, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to appoint Peter Hoffman as chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals, Bruce Gombos as a regular member, each for a term of 3 years, and Joe Capasso as the first alternate member for a term of 1 year. Deputy Mayor Cassell, second. Trustee Rosillo, all in favor? Unanimous. And we'll go to the ad hoc committee appointments. I'd like to appoint Jerry McIlvain as Fire Chief, ex officio member of the ADA Compliance Committee, and Deputy Mayor Cassell, each for a term of 1 year. Motion?
That's an ad hoc committee.
Oh, ad hoc, okay. Appoint Robert Allen, Diane Falk, Andrea Fisher, Annette Scaparotto Noe, Megan O'Halloran, Mary Vessione, Susan Weisenberger, Betsy Westrell, Brenda Yozo Scaparata as regular members, and Mary Gerber as a consultant of the Beautification Committee, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Paul Stern as chairman of the Budget Committee, Bruce Catania, Renato DeRusso, Chris C. Hoare, and James Stone as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Kathy Dean as chair, Nancy Delmerico, Neil DePasquale, Nina Orville, Susan DeGeorge, Jean Ceccolini, Maria McKellar, Madeline Burns, Steve Pacillo, Joe Lucchese, Kendra Garrison, Lenoy Person, Erna Capitanopoulos, I think, is that it? Capitanopoulos, and Elizabeth Martin as regular members of the Dobbs Ferry Tree Consortium, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Raven David as coordinator of the Downtown Improvement Task Force, and Emma Barco, Sarah Colombo, Teresa Ferraro, Ed Hardesty, Elizabeth Hobson, Bonnie Mazer, Megan O'Halloran, and Michael Smith as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Alyssa Fassman as chair, and Rob Barron, Kathy Bobenhausen, Kathy Dean, Susan DeGeorge, Ron DeRusso, Nina Orville, and Patty Steinschneider as regular members of the Sustainability Task Force, each for a term of 1 year, and Casey Lee as the Master's School representative for a term of 1 year. Appoint the Mayor, Bob McLaughlin, as chairman and trustee liaison of the Facilities Committee, Trustee Sullivan as vice chair and alternate trustee liaison, Charlene Delicato, village administrator, Ed Manley, building inspector, Joe Lucchese, Parks and Recreation Committee member and chair, Abby Cannett, senior advocate, Kathy Kay, senior advisory committee member, Bill Florin, commander of the American Legion Post 1048, Paul Monte, zoning board of appeals member, and Joy Haber, village resident, as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Patty Steinschneider, Joe Rooney, Alexandra Charnas as regular members of the Ferry Festa Committee, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Sonia Turjanian as chair of the Historic District Task Force. In addition, Peggy Blizzard, Dee Dunn, Sue Galloway, Elizabeth Martin, Bonnie Meza, Rebecca Pitts, Bruce Richards, Scott Rosasco, Greg Thomas as regular members, Madeline Byrne, liaison to the Historical Society, Mavis Kane as liaison to the Friends of the Old Croton Aqueduct, Raven David, liaison to the Downtown Improvement Task Force, Steve Hunter, Dwight Douglas, Village Planning Consultant, Elisa Fassman, liaison to the Sustainability Task Force, Stephen Hunter, Planning Board Representative, Ed Manley, Building Department Representative, and Mike Patino, AHRB Representative, each for a term of 1 year. Appoint Abby Connett, Senior Advocate, as Chair of the Senior Advocacy Committee, and Perot Risland as Senior Advocate. Kendra Garrison, Superintendent of Recreation, Sid Udine, Kathy Kay, Molly Rodriguez, and Roz Navarro as regular members, each for a term of 1 year. We'll now go to the trustee liaison assignments for 2018 and 19. Ambulance Court, Trustee Rosillo. Architectural and Historical Review Board, Trustee Rosillo. Beautification Committee, Trustee DeRozzi. Board of Education, Mayor McLaughlin. Budget Committee, Trustee Taylor. Chamber of Commerce, Trustee Nell. Conservation Advisory Board, Deputy Mayor Cassell. Dobbs Ferry Tree Consortium, Deputy Mayor Cassell. Ethics Board, Trustee Rosillo. Bless you. Ferry Festa Committee, Trustee Nell. Fire Department, Mayor McLaughlin. Historical District Task Force, Mayor McLaughlin and Trustee Sullivan. Historic Hudson River Towns, all trustees. Housing Board of Appeals, Trustee DeRozzi. Library Board, Trustee Sullivan. Nominating Committee, Trustee Nell. Parks and Recreation Committee, Trustee Sullivan. Planning Board, Deputy Mayor Cassell. Police Department, Mayor McLaughlin. River Arts, Trustee Nell. Senior Advocacy Committee, Deputy Mayor Cassell. Sustainability Task Force, Trustee Taylor. Traffic Committee, Deputy Mayor Cassell. Tree Commission, Trustee DeRozzi. Youth Services Council, Trustee DeRozzi. Zoning Board of Appeals, Trustee Rosillo. I'd like to announce that the official depositories of the village are J.P. Morgan Chase, Tompkins Mahopac Bank, and Wells Fargo. I need a motion to consider a resolution establishing a fixed rate for mileage reimbursement to village officers and employees who use personal automobiles while performing their duties on behalf of the village at the annually approved IRS rate. Do I have a motion? Trustee DeRozzi, second. Deputy Mayor Cassell, all in favor? I'd like to also authorize to continue the investment and procurement policies as recommended by the State of New York and as previously adopted by the Board of Trustees. I'd like to announce that the official newspaper is the Rivertowns Enterprise, and the alternate official newspaper, the the Journal News. Mayor McLaughlin to announce, village information is available on the internet at dobbsferry.com and on cable television, Channel 75, and Verizon, Channel 46. I'd like to also announce that the official records of the Board of Trustees will continue to be the minutes of the Board of Trustees. I'd like to announce that the regular meetings of the Board of Trustees will be held on the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month at 6:30 p.m., with the exception of July, August, and December, which will have one regular meeting per month as follows. In July, the 16th in 2019, in August, the 13th in 2019, and in December, the 17th in 2019. The date for the December 2008 meeting is December 18th, 2018.
Mr.
Oh. The annual organization is scheduled for December 2nd, 2019. Meetings for the April budget hearing and budget adoption and any additional budget-related meetings, public meetings, will be scheduled at a future date. I'd like to announce that the current procedures for the guidelines for the Board of Trustees and meetings remain in effect. Donna, did you have, I meant to ask you when you were up doing the oath after, did you want to make any comments?
Sure,
Just-
just very quickly. I just want to thank the voters in Dobbs Ferry for putting their faith in me again for another term, and I also want to thank my fellow board members, the staff, the village service departments, police, fire, DPW, emergencies, the EMS people, for their support, and it's been an absolute joy to work with all of these people, and I am looking forward to another term. So thank you very much. I also do want to mention that Trustee Taylor was sworn in on Friday.
Yes, correct.
He was unavailable tonight, so Liz swore him in on Friday, so he's official as well. So.
Good, thank you, Donna. I appreciate it.
Oh, and one more thanks. I have to thank Annette for letting me do this for another 2 years.
Thank you, Annette. You know, I don't think people realize how much time the members of the board put in to the village. I mean, I'm certainly I think this is the end of our first year. We have a few new trustees, and I'm a new mayor, and there's a lot to be done on an ongoing basis, and things surface, as Don, you know, formerly as mayor, that things surface all the time. But I am glad to say that when we started this journey, I think we have a great team. I think we put some things in place. In fact, I was talking, the enterprise had called me about some of the things we had promised, and they wanted to go through each of them, but at the end of the conversation, they did, well, you pretty much accomplished everything that you said as a board that you were going to do, which I think is great for the village. But the next thing he asked me is, what are you going to do for this coming year? And the board is going to have an annual planning session, hopefully later on this month, and we will update the village on some of the things, not only that we've accomplished in 2018, but what we're going to focus on in 2019, and we will certainly review that. So I have to thank everybody here on the board and all of the volunteers in the village that put in a tremendous, we just read out all these names of people that give their time to the village, and it certainly makes this a better place to live. For those of you that were here on Saturday that saw all the activities going on in the village and the tree lighting, and we had the football team there to congratulate them on the trip to the state championship. But it was an example, I think, the football team and the teamwork of that football team. They weren't a big group of athletes. They're not from a big school. They're not from a big village. But working as a team, they really had a successful season from start to finish. And when you saw all of the folks that came out for the tree lighting with the kids and everything else, it was really a refreshing thing to see. It makes this all worthwhile. So I want to thank everybody in the village that participated. I do want to make a few other announcements. I talked about President Bush earlier. He is the 32nd person, I think, to be in the rotunda in Washington, which has started this evening, I believe. But we also voted that the village become a Purple Heart Village recently. And there will be a ceremony on Friday at 1 o'clock at Livingston and Broadway to commemorate that, working with the American Legion and the Purple Heart Society. And we want to thank ShopRite for paying for the signage that is going to be going up around the village, the first one to be at Livingston and Broadway. So you're all welcome. There'll be refreshments at Our Lady of Pompeii Church immediately after, and it would be great for the village to show support. There were 3 people involved in pulling this together. Randy Jurgensen, who is a Purple Heart recipient from Vietnam, Ed Hennessy, and Bill Florin. So we hope to join you there, and we have some information going out on Toys for Tots. That'll go out tomorrow with the announcement for the Purple Heart. And also, Chief, tonight, some tips on safety during the Christmas season when it comes to fires, which is very important, especially if you have live trees and lights. Some of the, what was that movie, Christmas Vacation? Clark Griswold. Anyway, thank you all. I don't know if any...
Can I just say something?
Sure.
Yeah. So I just want to thank the Democratic Committee for supporting me to run for trustee, and the residents for having faith in me to run another term, and the Board of Trustees, and the different people I work with in my liaison posts who helped me make this job somewhat easier. As the mayor said, it is a lot more harder and time-consuming than we think, and I value everyone, including the friendships that I've been able to develop. So I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Great. Thank you.
Just looking forward to working with my fellow trustees again.
Trustee, no? Okay, so...
Mayor, menorah lighting?
Oh, yes. Tomorrow night is the menorah lighting at right next to the Christmas tree at Cedar in Maine, and it starts at 7 o'clock. And it is a celebratory holiday in the Jewish faith, and Rabbi Benji does have, I must say, wonderful pastries and hot apple cider there. So if it is a little chilly tomorrow night, there will be some refreshments there after the ceremony. So thank you all very much, and the meeting is adjourned.